So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 52nd episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for March 16th.
Hello.
How's it going, Joe?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm all right.
That's good.
Could be better. But I'm pretty all right. My computer was making funny noises. I fixed the funny noises.
That's always good.
I got stuff to get done.
Not when it's making funny noises, but...
Oh, it's just because a fan that I've been using for like the last 4 years died. It's not like it doesn't spin anymore. It just goes while it's spinning, and you're like, "Oh man, my ears."
That sounds horrible. It sounds like your whole thing's gonna just blow up with electrocution.
It's just there's just no more oil left in the ball bearings in the fan. So you can hear it screeching.
Well, glad that that's fixed and I don't have to hear that.
Yeah, that was something that popped up after the podcast last week. Just like, damn it. Now you can just hear the sound of 8 fans going.
Only 8.
Only 8.
You lucky man.
So, what games you been playing?
What games have I been playing? I have been playing... I played Voodoo Vince again for the first time in a long time. It's a game I played when I was a kid. Other than that, I've been playing more Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. And I played a game called the Gianni Sisters or something like that. I forget.
Gianna Sisters?
Yeah. I didn't like it that much.
The original or the new one?
I don't know. I got it for Steam in a Humble Bundle.
So the new one.
Yeah.
Gianna Sisters was like a Mario ripoff back in the day.
I played it and the controls were very slippery and not good.
I haven't played it. It looked alright. I'm not a big platformer person anymore. Like, I really just don't care at this point. I'd rather play something else besides a platformer. So
yeah. What have you been playing?
I played quite a few games this week. So
Nice.
played more Morrowind. I'm not going to talk too much about that because I talked about it last week.
Yep.
I went back to Banished because I was finishing up my review on that this week.
Nice.
I like that game, but there's not a lot to do in it. I don't want to play it anymore at all, which is strange for a game within that genre because it's a city builder, right? You played the same city builder for years. Like, I still play Tropical 4. They're coming out with Tropical 5, by the way. Tropical 4 is fantastic. I still play Cities XL because it's fantastic. I still play Ano because it's fantastic. And you can just play forever. They're infinitely playable. Banished, because of the survival aspect, doesn't have that appeal for me, I guess.
You think the survival aspect would make it
the survival
more
aspect
exciting?
No, it structures it more, and there's not enough buildings, and so you kind of just run out of stuff to do. You survive, and then that's it. There's nowhere else to go after that. Once you're established, and you're not gonna fail. I played that game on the hardest difficulty with the hardest starting conditions with the worst weather with the most natural disasters, and my town never had a tornado come through and tear it apart and kill it. That was never a problem. And so that game, I'm just not super into it, I guess. I kind of just got bored of it. And a lot of the things that a lot of the stories that other people seem to have about their towns aren't things that I ever ran into. They're only things that happen if you neglect your town and just leave it running for hours on end, but not actually do anything with it. A fire could start, and then the fire could spread and burn down a whole part of your village.
Oh, those.
I've only ever had one fire start, and people just went to the well and got water and put it out. Like, because
Problem solved.
I'm not retarded, so I built a well. Like, that game will live and die in the this year based on content updates. If it doesn't have content updates, I don't want to play it ever again, because until there's a major content update, I have no interest in it. I've burnt myself out on it. It was a $20 game. I played it for like 20 hours. I'm done. Like, I don't have anything else that I want to do with that game, because I don't want to chase the achievements. So much of that game is about chasing achievements. They're like, you'll get an achievement if you do this silly build that doesn't really work. And it's like, well, no, I'd rather just play the game properly. And so I'm just not that super into it. I think people that are fans of the genre will enjoy it, but I'm not super into it anymore. But I was really into it the first week. Like, I played a ton of it.
Well,
And if I want to play a city builder, I just turn back on Ano because it's so good.
never been into city builders. I don't know. I have trouble getting into them. That's like my problem.
Ano is really cool in that it's not so much about building cities as much as it is about naval trade. So you start building a city on an island, and all the islands can grow different crops, and you need different crops to be able to progress islands, and so you have to settle a bunch of different islands and then set up these trade routes that automate themselves so that you consistently have all of the goods that you need at all of your islands. It's super interesting. I love that game. It's just that series is so good.
I don't know. It doesn't sound interesting to me personally.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't know. Yeah, it's something that's hard for me to get into. Same with games like Animal Crossing or something like that, stuff like that. All my friends are like, dude, Animal Crossing came out, and they all played it for 5 months straight. And I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, but Animal Crossing is a game that you play every day for 10 minutes. Ano is a game that I play once a month for 10 hours straight.
That's ridiculous.
They're hugely different games in how you're supposed to play them.
Yeah.
I played some Dark Souls earlier today, or attempted to.
The original or the new one?
The original, sorry. The PC version. I'm waiting for the PC version for Dark Souls 2. And I was like, I'm going to play Dark Souls.
I remember you saying that now.
But I can't remember my Xbox Live login, and I lost my save game, and just a mess. Also, I can't get DS Fix to work anymore, so the game looks really bad. I gotta try to get DS Fix to work. Then I'm gonna play Dark Souls. I might stream it later tonight. I'm gonna stream that, or I'm gonna stream Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Metal Gear Rising is a good game. I don't care what anyone says.
Dude, everyone likes that game. How can you not? You suplex a Metal Gear in the first level.
I know tons of people who hate that game.
It's so good. It's a really good spectacle fighter. I like it more than I like Metal Gear Solid.
And that is where a bunch of people would come out and kill you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a video Metal Gear Solid is worse than Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and here's why. And then just be Metal Gear Solid tries to be crazy, but it's only crazy in that you can't follow the fucking story, not in that there's crazy things in the world anymore. It's just, I'm not super into Metal Gear Solid anymore. It's too much what? You don't understand what any of the characters are. And Metal Gear Rising, though, takes that one step further and then makes fun of it. And it's just yes, perfect, excellent. Makes it a super enjoyable experience. That game's super fun. Plus the combat's awesome, especially the sword fighting stuff.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool.
I've been playing that. I've been getting ready to stream it because the game's hard. So I played through the first couple levels, and then I'm gonna stream. I think I'm gonna stream those like tomorrow maybe, or I got a paper to do, so when that's done, I guess. But
Damn you, homework.
yeah, I'm almost at the end of the semester. I mean, once I get to April, I have the whole month off because I only have one final exam, and it's on the 10th.
You lucky man.
And then I'm out of school, and I don't have anything to do. But
And I hear a bus.
nah, it's not a bus, motorbike.
Ah.
But I've been playing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That game's really good. I'm gonna stream that soonish. Like I said, the game's really hard, and I want to know where the secrets are, but I also want to like find them. So I think I'm just gonna have 2 playthroughs: one where I stream, and one where I'm not streaming. And that one I'll be just a head on, so that I know where the fuck shit is. And then
I really need to get my hands on that game just to try it out for myself. I've watched so many videos of it, but I've never been able to like play it.
I like it. I don't like it as much as other spectacle fighters. I think I like the older DMC games better. Like DMC 3 and 4 are really good.
I just picked up the original Devil May Cry for like $4.
Oh, that's a great game.
So I'm excited to.
I think that's better than this, but and Bayonetta's better too. There's no dodge in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. There's only parry, and I don't like that so much. Like the game's really hard, in a way that I feel like it's almost hurts my experience. Like I'm playing it on normal, and I got stuck, which is fucking insane.
It's that hard.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to use the box to sneak past these characters, and they just seem to always find me, and I can't kill them because they're too tough. If I had the upgrades, then I think I would be able to just like destroy them, but I don't have the upgrades for the character yet because I'm at the beginning of the game, and I'm just getting wrecked.
Yeah,
they're just wrecking my shit. I also beat the Stick of Truth this week. I beat it on Tuesday.
How do you enjoy that?
It's short.
Yeah.
I beat it in 7 hours. I completed it in 7 hours actually without a guide. So everyone told me it was 12. Does not take 12 to complete. It took me 7. Which is real fast. I didn't skip any cutscenes or anything. Yeah, it's a good game, but short.
Yeah.
Even for a AAA, because if you complete those games, they normally take 10 hours, even though they tell you that it's really like 16. But this is a case where I've been told it was 12, and it was 7. So, and I don't think I want to play that game again. At least not for now. I'll play it again probably at the end of the year when like Game of the Year time comes around, because it's a really good 7 hours.
Yeah.
But it's only 7 hours. I'm gonna start writing my review on that because I guess it's gonna be the game that I do this month. Because I wanted to do Dark Souls, but it's not out till next month.
Well, it's out, but you just want it for PC.
Well, I'm not gonna buy a console to play it. Get out of here. I haven't owned an Xbox or a PlayStation. I've never owned a PlayStation 3, and I haven't owned an Xbox in 6 years, so, or like a 360 in 6 years. So I'm not gonna go buy one to play one game, especially when it's not gonna be as good as the PC version. So
what can you do?
I'll wait. I can wait a month. I can just
but
not go on the internet.
Long. Don't you want to pay $500 for an Xbox One just to play Dark Souls?
It's not on Xbox One.
Don't you want to pay $400 for a PS4 just to play Dark Souls?
PlayStation 4.
What?
It's only on 360 and PlayStation 3.
What? Why?
Because that's what they knew how to develop for, and so they developed their game for it.
And on that news, how do you not have a PS3 or a 360?
Because they don't have any games. No games.
Don't lie to me.
Why would I want to own a 360? I don't like Halo and I don't like COD.
But
Name
PS3...
name something out. I didn't like The Last of Us. I don't think that Beyond Two Souls is good because I think that the dude who does those games doesn't.
Well, what about like 3D Dot Hero and fucking Little Big Planet and Sly Cooper and
I don't like Sly
what's other shooter
Cooper.
games?
I played Little
I
Big
don't
Planet at my friend's house. It's okay.
I don't know if we could be friends.
Killzone's bad. Ni no Kuni's cool, but I'm not buying a system for that. Like, of all of the games that I like to play, I mostly like to play third-party titles because I don't really think that Sony or Microsoft make games that I like, and all of the third-party titles come out on PC. So, friendship over.
Yep, 100%.
We just close down the podcast.
Yeah, we just leave.
Alrighty then. Good night.
Night.
No, I just.
I know. I get it.
It's a lot of money to drop for like to play 3 games. Like I don't like Infamous and like that style of game. I'm just not super into a lot of the stuff that's on console. But I fucking love Counter-Strike, so play a lot of PC stuff. Counter-Strike, City Builders, RTS games.
That's where we're different. I can't get into City Builders or RTSs. I find them boring.
I love role-playing games. Gotta have a PC for the role-playing games.
No, you don't. You just need some dice and a giant fucking D&D book.
Well, for PC role-playing games, for computerized CRPGs, I need a PC so I can play fucking Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, because that's one of the best games ever. And then, like, The Witcher's on PC, really good experience on PC, kind of totally poop on console. Need the mods. Mods make the Elder Scrolls games playable, especially in the case of Skyrim. I'm just saying, man, if I had to choose a platform, it's not either of those 2 consoles. If I had to pick a console, it would be Wii U, because fucking Monster Hunter, man. Monster Hunter.
That's the one game that you always need to have, and it's not on PC.
Yeah, actually, exactly. There's a PC. They're coming out with an MMO Monster Hunter game for PC, though.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's only coming out to Asia at first, so I mean, kill me now, but maybe
well, you'll just have to wait, just like Dark Souls. It's okay.
Yeah, except that historically for Monster Hunter, when they just like decide not to bring it to North America, it just doesn't come to North America. Dark Souls 2 has what?
Nintendo's been changing that a lot, though.
Yeah, but Nintendo's not going to bring over a PC Monster Hunter game. Get out of here.
Well, maybe they'll try, because then maybe it'll help them sell the Monster Hunter games on their system.
No, especially because the company that actually is making that Monster Hunter game is bigger than Capcom, so it's being made by Tencent, who are the people who own Riot.
Oh.
Tencent's like this huge corporation in China. They own everything video games.
Never heard of them.
Oh, well. They don't really release stuff over here. But they own everything, so...
They own everything!
Yeah.
They even own Nintendo.
They could if they wanted to. So... Let's move on to some news.
Okay.
What are you eating?
Snickers.
Oh. Thought they were like brownies or something.
I wish they were brown. Actually, I don't know. I wish I had brownies to go along with this. There we go. That's better.
Both?
Yeah. I just want all the candy.
Fair enough. So there's a new Steam feature.
What is this?
You
haven't heard of it.
you can report games for legal violations, being offensive, having adult content when it's not properly age gated. So, like, saying that the game's for everyone, but there's, like, boobs
all
in
over.
It. Boobs just everywhere. That it's harmful, as in the software modifies your computer in a harmful fashion, so it's a virus. Child exploitation, hate speech, or pornography. So boobs everywhere.
That's cool.
I'm interested in how this is gonna work, because I feel like of everything that could be abused, this is the one.
I really wish this was around when that DayZ clone was out a while back.
Oh, the War Z?
Yep, that
would
have
have now
made
called like Survivor Stories or something.
Whatever. No one cares about it anymore, let's just put it that way.
But it doesn't violate any of those things. And they refunded everyone for that anyways after a couple days. It's interesting. So this is obviously like a move by Valve to like automate Steam and stop having to like curate and let people kind of manage things in their own fashion. This goes along with the Steam tagging system, and then developers being able to set their own sales prices and when sales start, which is something they weren't able to do before. It's also really interesting because the way that this is implemented right now, this is probably just for them to collect data and not for them to actually ban any games with, because it's so abusable right now that they probably just want to see how people are going to abuse the system.
Yep.
Because, like, there's patent violations as, like, a reportable offense. And I feel like most people don't understand what a patent violation is.
I don't know what it is, so I feel like I probably should, though.
Yeah, it's basically like you patent an idea or a concept.
Yeah. It's kind of like you patent it and then you own it, and it's under, like, copyright law and all that at that point in time.
Copyright is like related to like logos and stuff, and like your intellectual
patent has
property.
To, like,
patent is like an invention.
Like if I invented scissors, I would patent scissors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you get to keep it for 100 years, and then after 100 years, scissors works. It's perfectly fine. But then you get to keep the idea for 100 years, and then after 100 years, everyone can do it.
Yeah. Everyone can do the scissors.
Yeah. It's fucking insane. But it's an interesting idea. I like that Valve is moving in this kind of insane way where there's like, we have the biggest like retail space in video games. Let's just abandon it and make it automate itself.
Let's see how it works.
Plus, I mean, they're in the unique position where they can giveth and taketh away at will.
Yeah. This is very true.
So, this week, or I guess maybe, yeah, we'll say this week, I was super disappointed in that The Witcher 3 has been delayed until 2015.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Disappointed, but if it makes the game better, then I'll wait.
This is true. I've been looking into it. I've never played Witcher 1 or 2, but I've been looking into Witcher 3, and it gets me excited to see it.
Witcher 2 is really good. I have it in my Steam account. We need to set up Steam sharing.
Yeah, we've been saying that for the past 2 weeks. It's going pretty great.
We should do it right after the podcast today.
All right. See how that goes.
Then you can play all of the games.
I just looked at my Steam account today and I realized I own 90 games as of now, which is pretty good for me. It's almost as many PS2 games as I have. That's a total lie.
I scoff at your 90 and I raise you a 251.
I raise you a... Fuck it.
But, yeah, The Witcher 3 is delayed until 2015. The Witcher 2 is one of my favorite games of, like, the generation, I guess. Witcher 1 was really good. I like that a lot as well, but...
So, what...
Mostly because of, like, story.
What is, like, The Witcher, like, game... Like, what is it?
It's a role-playing game.
Genre-wise. Oh, okay.
It's a fantasy role-playing game.
Is it, like, JRPG or just Western RPG? Or, like, its own thing?
I'll go ahead and say Western RPG, but it's, like, third-person combat.
Oh, okay.
It's strange. It's not like... The problem with the Western RPG is that you always think, like, first-person. Like, you think... I always think first person.
I don't always, but
because I associate it with like Elder Scrolls, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah.
And these are games that like have the option to play in first person. Like there's guns and stuff, or like they're equivalent within the time period. Yeah. And that's not the case in The Witcher. The Witcher is only third person. You have like a few throwable weapons, and then you have like close range spells, and then you fight with a sword because Witchers fight with swords. Like there's not a lot of class customization in that game, and that there aren't classes because you're a Witcher and Witchers are trained to use swords. And so like you don't have, and you play as Geralt of Rivia. So you play as a single character. Everyone plays this character.
I thought you were about to say his name is Gary, and I was like, that is the most amazing name ever.
No.
But Geralt is a little bit more exciting.
So it's not like a super customizable experience, or like, well, character. Geralt looks the same all the time because he's Geralt. He's got white hair and a scar over his eye, and
because he's Geralt.
But the way that the story plays out, it's like the only game that I can think of that has choices where the choices are super meaningful. At the end of the second game, you can just let like one of the most major characters in the first two games, you can just let them die and just go rescue someone else. Like you get put in this position where you can only rescue one of three people, and you have to choose based on like what you want as kind of how you want the narrative to play out. Like you can save your lover, or you can save like this one woman who you need to use so that you can like exact your revenge upon someone else, or like there's a bunch. You get put in positions where the narrative really substantially changes, and the game just, the customization in that game, the role playing comes in the choices that you make, and the choices that you make in that game, there's no good or bad choices. They're like all morally gray. Whereas in Mass Effect is like, you're a good guy, so don't push this man out the window. And in The Witcher, it's like, you can save those elves from the burning building, but then these other people over here might die, or you can save these people over here, and then the elves will die. And it's like, oh.
So no matter what, everyone dies.
Well, a group of people die, and it majorly affects how people in the world perceive you, because this is a game that deals with like a lot of adult subject matter.
Don't save the elves, all the elves in the planet are gonna hate you,
basically.
Right?
But if you save the elves, then everyone thinks that like you're an elf lover, because the human society in this game is like really racist. The game deals with a lot of really mature subject matter, like racism and drugs and sex, but it deals with them in a mature way. Like, it's a mature game because it deals with mature content like an adult, rather than like a teenager. like, let's say, Grand Theft Auto, which also has extreme violence, sex, and drugs.
But it's also rated M.
And is also rated M. But it doesn't deal with it like an adult. It deals with it like a teenager.
Yeah.
I think that's what really got me into the Witcher series, is that it just has the best writing in games ever at this point. Like, I played so many role-playing games, a lot of Western run ones, and I really don't think there's any games with better writing than The Witcher. As far as character writing, I guess, I feel like there's places with better worlds, but the characters in The Witcher are just really full in a way that you don't see in games. Like, it's more something that you would see in movies.
Yeah.
But the characters are variable in a way that they aren't in movies, and that you interact with them and create their personalities. They're just written to be super deep based on a bunch of options that, like, a bunch of choices that make huge differences in the game.
I'm definitely going to have to check it out when it comes out. Definitely going to have to give it a try. I don't know if I'll play Witcher 1 and 2, but I'll definitely
Witcher 2 is totally worth playing. If you play Witcher 2, then it will fill you in on all of the backstory from Witcher 1 and get you ready for Witcher 3. Because Witcher 3 is definitely like a very direct continuation of Witcher 2 in a way that the Witcher 2 isn't entirely of like a direct continuation of Witcher 1.
Yeah.
You basically need to know what the Wild Hunt is, which is something that they talk about more in Witcher 2, and so if you don't play Witcher 1 but just play Witcher 2, you should still be in kind of okay shape. And The Witcher 1's a hard game to play in that it's not that good mechanically. Combat's totally different in Witcher 2 versus Witcher 1, so... The good news about, or like, I guess the silver lining about The Witcher 3 getting delayed is that Cyberpunk 2077 has not been delayed at all. It's unaffected by this delay, and Cyberpunk is a game that I'm also looking like...
Is that the steampunk looking game?
Yeah, based on the tabletop Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I remember seeing that at E3 last year, I think. They announced it.
They didn't announce it at E3. They did teasers beforehand and then didn't mention anything about it at E3 because they are like just in the planning stages.
That's good to hear then. That game definitely looked cool.
Yeah, Cyberpunk should be super interesting. I'm excited to see where it goes, because if it's anything like The Witcher 2 for writing wise, then it should be really good. So, have you heard about Campo Santo?
Campo Santo. I can't say I have. What is it?
It's a new game development studio with ex-talent from Double Fine, Cly, Telltale, and 2K Marin.
I think I have heard of this.
Yeah, so it's got the lead from Mark of the Ninja. It's got the leads from Walking Dead Season 1, Sean Vanneman and Jake Rodkin. It has the ex-Irrational and Double Fine developer Chris Remo. And it's got like Ollie Moss and just a lot of top tier talent, and they announced their game finally.
What's the game?
It's called Firewatch. And there's only one picture of it, and it looks really interesting in that it's all like orange and red. And it's a game where you play a fire watchman. So if you don't live anywhere near a big sprawling forest with no one living there are these places in like rural Canada and rural America where you basically have like a big watchtower that you build on like a mountain, and someone lives up in that tower and basically looks for smoke to see if the forest caught fire. And
exciting job.
Yeah, and so you play a man named Henry who basically abandoned his life and then moved into a lookout, like took a job as a lookout, as a fire lookout in Wyoming, and you only have like contact with this one woman called Delilah, and the game is like a mystery first-person adventure game, and apparently it's kind of like Alan Wake, but not with ghosts necessarily. But something like draws you out of the tower, and that's how this like game starts.
Huh.
But since it's a mystery game, the game's a mystery.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, like they haven't really told us too much about it because it's a first-person story mystery game, and if you say much more than that, it kind of spoils it.
Yeah.
But with all of like that development talent, I'm super interested in what they're gonna do.
I'm assuming it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of games that kind of come out like this recently, like Gone Home is like a first-person mystery game. Kentucky Route Zero is like a really surreal. The screenshot that they have of Firewatch looks like Kentucky Route Zero, like artistically, and that's like a really surreal game that I enjoyed the first like 2 episodes of, and now they haven't finished releasing the other episodes. Damn you, episodic games!
Finish yourself.
Yeah. So I mean, I would totally play that when it comes out, depending on if they just release a whole game. If they go the episodic route, I'm not going to play it. Not until it's done, at least. Because there's too many games. There's too many games that, like, come out with only one part, and then I can't. You finish it, and you sit for, like, 6 months. Like, The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
Sorry, give me a second. Go away! Okay, sorry.
It's okay. The only game like that I've played is Broken Age, and I can definitely see what you mean. It's like, okay, I beat it, and now I have to wait for episode 2.
Yeah, like you really enjoy the first. Yeah, the waiting kills you, especially when you don't really know how long that waiting is going to be, or when they seem inconsistent in the releases, like. Walking Dead is like every 2 months or something like that. The Wolf Among Us, though, it took them like 4 months to get out the second part, and now it's like, when's the third part gonna be out? Especially when the second part was only like an hour and a half. So like, you get to the point where, I mean, we talk about this every week, it seems like, but it's only because there's a lot of episodic games coming out. Yeah. And I'm just so uninterested in that kind of stuff. I just don't want to wait anymore. I want to play the game, and
yeah, you want it done and in your hands. Don't have to wait 4 months to fucking see the next episode and see who dies, who lives, and who marries who.
Pretty much. Alrighty, so did you ever play Monaco?
I played it once. I didn't really understand it, but I did enjoy it.
So the developer behind that announced a new game called Armada.
Yeah.
And it is a real-time strategy game that you play with a gamepad. So,
good
luck.
Yeah. There's only been one game that's done it decently well that I've ever played. And decent is decently.
What game is that?
Halo Wars.
No, get out of here. Shut up. You're a liar.
No, it's the only console RTS I've ever played that was actually decent and didn't control like a piece of shit.
Multiwinia is way better than Halo Wars.
I've never played it, so I can't say anything.
Halo Wars
But I played like
bad.
all the Command and Conquers on the fucking Xbox, and I played like...
Why would you play those on Xbox?
Because when I was fucking 8, that's the only way I could play them.
Oh man, feel sorry for you.
I wasn't 8 when I had an Xbox, but still.
Yeah, like the big thing that they did here is that you like have a character that you control, like a hero character, and you use him to like collect up your units, and your units kind of auto attack stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, like APM becomes something that's not super important. It's more about like how and when you attack.
Yeah, how you manage your hero and your units.
Yeah, there's like a lot less micro in the game, which is exactly why games like StarCraft 64 are fucking horrendously bad, because you have to micro characters and you can't. But he seems to have some good ideas, because a lot of RTS games don't have a lot of the ideas that he has that I feel like make RTS good. So this might be playable. Also, it's coming out on PC, so it's strange that it's like a gamepad RTS. But it's about base building, which has been not something that they've been like. That's something that isn't popular in RTS anymore. I think if you look at like the Warhammer 40k games, I can't remember what they're called. It's been forever since I played them. Dawn of War, where like you're only controlling like a squad. Or like there's just a lot of RTS games that are coming out don't have base building as an element anymore, and I feel like that's the best part of RTS games.
As someone who doesn't play RTS, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Well, I played StarCraft 1 when StarCraft 2 was like announced and going to come out, and I like almost beat that game, and then I got stuck. So I was like, okay, and then I just started playing StarCraft 2 because by then I had it and I just didn't want to play StarCraft 1 anymore. And I started playing StarCraft 2 and I didn't get far into the story mode, and then I tried multiplayer and I sucked at it, so I haven't touched it since. And that's my life of StarCraft.
Fair enough. There's only really one more piece of news this week.
Oh, really? Okay, I might have a bunch of news to add in for you then.
Alrighty then. Ouya everywhere. Ooh yeah.
What about the Ouya?
You like that really bad joke?
No, it was great. I loved it.
Great. So Ouya is expanding to be everywhere. So they're going to be basically selling off their front end, which is the software part of Ouya, so that you can put it in other embedded systems like a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Yeah.
And then you can play Ouya games with it. And by games, I mean game. And
isn't there like only a one game on the Ouya that anyone wants to play?
Towerfall, which is now out on PlayStation platforms and PC. The Ouya is still this like real perplexing thing in that it exists and has no value. There's one other game coming out on it that is any good, apparently. It's called Soulfjord. And
Soulfjord?
It's an exclusive to Ouya, and the guy's like, yeah, it's always going to be exclusive to Ouya. And it's like, okay, I'm never going to play your game then. The few people I know who have played it are like, yeah, it's pretty good. But, I mean, you're not going to buy an Ouya for it. So I'm not going to buy an Ouya and play that. Like, that's fucking crazy. Why would you do that? There's literally nothing of value on that platform.
Yeah, this is true. I remember that was coming out and everyone was interested in it, and then I heard nothing about it afterwards.
It feels like at this point they're just trying to like let people know they still exist.
Yeah. It's like, hey over here. We got this game you might like.
They pitched as an okay idea. They're like, yeah, we're gonna make a pretty easy standardized platform with no fragmentation that is super supportful, like super supporting of indie developers. And this was like 2 weeks before E3. Or not before E3, I'm sorry, before like all the other console announcements. When they like officially announced the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to be really supporting of indie developers this console generation. It's like, okay, Ouya doesn't need to exist anymore. It's fucked. And that's been the story of the Ouya ever since the other consoles were announced last year and said that they were going to support indie devs in like pretty substantial ways that they didn't support them in the last generation. And it's pretty much completely rang true. Sony was super proactive apparently in moving Towerfall over to the PlayStation platforms. They've been really supporting of like a lot of other indie games. One of the big like launch titles for the PlayStation was Resogun, which is not a big AAA title. The Witness is another one by Jonathan Blow. Like, there's a lot of indie games that are doing really well on these big consoles, and the Ouya just doesn't have a purpose to exist at this point. It doesn't. I don't understand why that company doesn't pack it in, because I don't think anyone would ever invest in their ideas.
They don't want to give up on their dream. They have
I
dream,
feel like
and they will do it.
I feel like someone invested a bunch of money in it, and they're like, well, we have to spend this money, so let's just keep the company going until they run out of money, and they're like, well, we don't exist anymore. I'd be surprised if Ouya made it into 2015. Because I
would too.
They don't have a means of making any money.
I'm surprised they made it into 2014.
They're living off that Kickstarter money. Not actually, because it only costs about like 50 times more than what they raised on Kickstarter to actually develop and manufacture a console. But yeah, if you wanted to play Towerfall on, I don't know, do you own a set-top box? I own a set-top box.
I don't even fucking know what that is.
Just like a small box that you can like play movies off of or something, or
okay,
have apps on it.
Okay. Can you play it on your iPhone?
No.
Oh.
But
well,
there you go. You still won't be able to play Ouya games.
Damn. I'm so depressed about that.
Yep. All 0 of them.
There's one.
What one's that?
The one that you were talking about.
Oh, Soulfjord.
Yeah, or that Towerfall one.
Towerfall is out on every other platform now, though, and is better.
But it's also on the. Oh fuck it.
Ooh yeah.
What are you, Kool-Aid man?
No, that's more like the Duff beer guy.
This is true. So, is that all the news you have for today?
Yeah. What news did you bring?
I have 2 pieces of news. One is not so amazing, and the other one is kind of bullshit. PlayStation. Oh, I remember the third one I was gonna say. PlayStation has recently announced that in Canada they are upping the price of the PS4 by $50 and all the games by $5 and the controllers and other accessories by $10. They didn't say why they're doing this, but they were assuming it's because of our rate, our change in currency and how much
the Canadian dollar probably fell.
Yep. So they're upping the price of the console for some reason.
Probably so that it sells at the same value in US dollars.
But if our money goes down, doesn't that mean it's worth less than yours? Wait, never mind. That makes sense.
If
never
ours
mind.
Goes down, it's worth less American dollars.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah,
because $1 Canadian dollar is worth 90 cents, and they used to be pretty close to on par.
Yeah. So that sucks for us. in Canada.
Just part of being Canadian.
God damn it. The other two things
I used to like have a water cooling, like a proper water cooling system set up on my desktop, and I had to ship all those parts in from the US, and you don't know fucking how expensive that was. Like an extra $50 on a console, that's not that bad. I had to pay like $300 in duty to ship over some pieces of metal.
God damn it.
Yeah.
The other two things were two games have been, well, the one has been confirmed for still being in process, and the other one has been given a estimated release date. That is, Serious Sam 4 has been giving an estimated release date of the fourth quarter of this year, which I'm excited for. I love that series. It's so good. It's
Serious Sam is like Serious Sam's like the last old school shooter.
Yeah, and I love it. I guess I was a little disappointed in Serious Sam 3, mostly because I was so hyped for it. I think I just kind of overhyped it on myself. So
yeah, because those games have always been kind of okay for what they are.
Yeah.
And so if you're like,
so I'm not...
if you're one of those people who are like, yeah, new Serious Sam game, I'm stoked. I'm gonna be up at midnight for release, and then you're just always gonna be disappointed because they're not that great of games.
Yeah.
They're just the only thing within a sub-genre of FPS at this point.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be as excited for Serious Sam 4, but I still can't wait to play it. I hope it's as good as the second and third and all the other ones.
It's funny, I didn't play the third that much, but I played Random Encounter. Do you know what that one is?
Yeah, that's the weird one.
It's one of the games that came out before Serious Sam 3, and it's like a Final Fantasy style game.
Yep. I've never played that one, but I
have it in my Steam account.
The other game, which I'm super fucking stoked about finally hearing something about, The Last Guardian has been announced by PlayStation that it is still in the process of being made, and it's not been canceled, and it's still being worked on. They said that months
ago.
They just released an announcement like a week ago that it's still in process, and they didn't say anything whether it's on PS3 or PS4 or what the hell's going on there.
They say that every couple of years.
I know. It's pissing me off.
I think a few months ago it was kind of like someone very strongly hinted that it was a PlayStation 4 game, that it was like completely reworked.
Yeah. I hope so. That'll give me more reason to get a PS4.
I just don't think I can care about that game until it's like out at this point, because like every few months they're like, yeah, it's a game, it still exists 9 years later.
Everything, like both games Team Ico has put out are pretty much my favorite games. Like Shadow of the Colossus and Ico are both amazingly outstanding games, so I can't see them doing that bad. But the article I read that said it's still in the process is that they didn't talk about it much, but there may have been changes in the development team working on the game. They didn't say if Team Ico is having another company work on it for them, or if just the talent working on the game has changed, or what the hell's going on there. But I don't know. I just hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, like I said, I can't get myself to really care, because they just fuck around so much and keep saying that they're going to do stuff and then don't. So whatever.
I feel like they were
until they show me something, I don't care, because it's been so many years of them saying they're making a game and then not.
I feel like you're pretty much right, where they probably like started making it for the PS3, and then they had troubles, and then the PS4 was like getting close to release, and they're like, maybe we should just make this for the PS4, and then they probably fucking scrapped the whole thing and started reworking it PS4 style. Then they probably needed some extra cash, so they put the HD version together, or hired people to put the HD version together and then sold that for some cash. It's probably exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Xbox, shut up.
So what's your third piece of news?
Oh, those were the three. Serious Sam, that one, Canadian money going down. Shut up, Xbox. My Xbox keeps beeping at me. But yeah, those were my 3 pieces of news. I thought there was something about Watch Dogs, but I don't think so. Pretty sure that was like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I thought there was like something new, like something weird happened, or I forget. Like it didn't have to do with the release date. I thought there were like something else, but I can't remember. So whatever's.
I've been super busy this week. I didn't really keep up with the news that much. And,
Well, that's okay.
like I'm getting ready for this fight on Saturday, so
Ryan beats up people for a living. That's a lie.
I wish it was a living. Be a awesome living.
Yeah, it would be. I'd beat up people for a living if I could beat up people.
So, oh man, we might as well ask this one dude, Techman X.
Yeah.
Got any questions?
There's also a guy named Raccoon Rigby here, man.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, we gotta wait
fun.
40 seconds.
Yeah, that great delay. But yeah,
It's fantastic. It's the best.
Yeah, at the end of our show, we ask questions. You guys got questions, you fucking shoot them out, and we answer them to the best of the ability of a guy named Ryan and Joe can.
Yeah, while we're at it, we might as well mention, hey, you have questions for us, email me at ryan@dappergaming.com. Email all the questions.
Ryan at dappergaming.com.
Yep.
It's on there on the screen in different portions.
It's not on the screen.
I can see it. There's Dapper Gaming over there in the top right corner, and your name's over there in the fucking middle left. They just got to put it together, and then they got to add
put those together and put a .com and an @ in there, and
everything's good. Everything's Gucci. But what do you think of Titanfall? Even though you probably haven't played it yet.
I did play it.
I hate you because I know you did. Did you play the full version or the beta?
I played the full version this week. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot like COD, but like better.
Yep.
God, I should try to really think about why. Like, I don't want to say it just feels better, because that's such a shitty like way of saying that you like a game. It just feels better. It's satisfying.
It's new.
Those are all things that are true. I don't like it because it's so fast, but it doesn't feel like it's Quake, and so it feels not correct. Like, the thing that makes that game for me is the movement system is really satisfying. I like how you move. I like the speed of it. It feels correct, but then paired with the shooting, which is really simple and like has no depth to it, they don't blend the way that I want them to, if that makes sense. It shoots like a game. The shoot is like handled in a fashion that slower games handle it. Yeah. Faster games handle it like Quake do, where you don't have to use bullshit iron sights and like all this other shit that really breaks your motion. Like, you're moving super fast and like feeling really satisfying about doing like these crazy wall jumps and like doing all these slides and stuff, and then it's like, and now I need to shoot a guy. Stop, aim, shoot. And it's like, well, that's not fun. Like, you don't carry your momentum through into the gunplay.
Yeah.
And the smart pistol is bullshit.
I've heard that since the beta.
Yeah, it's so retarded because it's like, it's too easy in that you just have to kind of get within like a quarter of the screen of them and then it will lock on. And so as long as you can like follow the person for long enough without them noticing, then you just fucking kill them instantly in one shot. And so with a smart pistol, the way that you do that is you start fighting, like you find a guy and then you just start like doing all of the crazy jumps that you can while still kind of looking in his direction for 3 seconds, and you pull the trigger and he dies. And because you're jumping around like a fucking crazy person, he can't shoot you.
Well, from what I've seen, read, and heard, I heard it's a good game. I heard it has the same problems that Halo 4 does, though. I heard it has no gameplay and no weapons. That's what I've heard, and that will kill the game right there. When you only have like 5 game types to play, no one's gonna want to keep fucking playing your game.
Yeah, and the game types aren't very inspired,
like
if that makes sense. And
like, here's 5 standard Call of Duty game types. Have fun. Oh, and here's one where you spawn in a Titan.
yeah, and that one is the worst one objectively, I feel like. Because if you're going to play Last Titan Standing, which is like you just try to kill all the other team's Titans, you might as well like play Hawken or Mech Warrior, because those are better mech fighting games.
Yeah. I think it's a cool game.
Titanfall is a really good...
I think it's a cool game. I don't think it's the COD killer that everyone was fucking freaking out about.
No, the people who like COD wouldn't really like Titanfall, and that it's kind of really casual.
Did you just say Call of Duty isn't casual?
This is like more casual.
I didn't think that was possible.
Too casual.
I didn't even think that was possible.
I don't know. We'll see, because like you have to wait a few weeks at least to see where the community goes. But like killing AI is not that fun.
Yeah.
And they make you play the campaign, which isn't very good. The campaign's like meh.
Yeah, I heard the campaign was shit.
Yeah, it does this weird thing where the campaign, you have to play against other people. You'll lose the mission, and then the campaign will just continue on, because it's like, you lost the mission, but against all odds, we managed to complete ours, so lol, let's just keep going. And so you can lose your campaign matches, but just keep playing. It's really fucking stupid. At least Brink had the balls to say, you lost, and then you go backwards.
I tried to play Brink once.
That game's not that good.
I played it, and I couldn't play it. I played it, and it was the laggiest thing ever, and the servers were horrible.
Oh, I didn't have that problem on PC.
I had it on PS3, so there's the issue.
Oh. Sorry. That game was alright on PC. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Titanfall reminds me a lot of the first Assassin's Creed, where like they've shown that you can make a game like this, and I feel like later ones will be much better, and that they'll finish off the mechanics. Like, I think that a lot of reviewers were giving Titanfall like a 9 or a 10 out of 10.
That's
or like
gross.
A 4. But it's like...
No.
But it's not... The game doesn't feel like it's totally there mechanically yet. Like, it hasn't been figured out. I feel like later... I feel like Titanfall 2 is going to be a much better game in that they'll have figured out how to make this formula really good.
Yeah. I feel like we're going into the decade of giant robots. Last decade was the year of fucking zombies. This decade is the decade of giant robots.
Oh, I'm just going to acknowledge this Thief and South Park Stick of Truth thing. We talked about Thief last week, or the week before. We talked about it when Rerez was on, when Shane was on. So that was 2 weeks ago. And I think I started by talking about Stick of Truth today. Yeah. So
Stick of Truth is good.
Yeah.
Thief,
good game.
horrible.
Short. Thief, real bad.
Real bad.
Someone wants you to talk about Bravely Default. Did you play that?
How Bravely do... No,
I haven't either. No comment.
I heard it's really good. Let's just put it that way. Every other reviewer I talk to plays it, and they say it's amazing. So, yeah, they're giving it a 9 out of 10 because it's flashy and new. God damn you, reviewers! Learn your shit.
I don't own a 3DS, so I didn't bother to read about it at all. So.
Oh no, he's talking about the Titanfall there on the flashy and new.
Oh yeah.
Remember that 40-second delay, brah.
God damn it. Yeah, I mean, it's an okay game. It came out, the second coming of Jesus did not happen. We're still all here, so I mean, it couldn't have been that amazing. I feel like one of the big problems with that is that they kind of got fucked because of how much marketing there was behind Titanfall. We talked about this when Rerez was on, where like it was being marketed because it's like the first big title. It's like the first big AAA of the year. It's the first big title for the Xbox One. And so there's just a ton of marketing power behind it. and it was kind of doomed to not live up to that hype.
Yep.
But I feel like the second one will probably be better and have less hype behind it. Maybe the expectations will be more in line, and they're just
much like the
meet.
company who was like supposed to like port the 360 version was actually like more superior, and somehow the 360 version ends up even better than the Xbox One version.
Well, that's just impossible.
I know, but it'd be funny. Have either of you played any Desigma games or Neptunia games? Have you? Because I have not. Are you dead?
Oh no, I'm alive. I'm sorry. I was reading something.
Sometimes I was just worried that
I haven't played Neptunia or just Gale.
Okay. Well,
I don't own a PlayStation.
I've heard of Dissigia. I've heard it's good. Never heard of Neptunia games. I've also heard about this, but I didn't read it. Microsoft Studios VP downs fanboyism. I don't know what's up with that. I saw an article on it, and I didn't click it.
Yeah, I didn't read about that either.
We are so great podcasters.
Read about it for next week.
All right.
If you want to have a general discussion about fanboyism, it's retarded. It's not good. I feel like I think that's the general consensus from everyone. Fanboyism, blind followings are bad. They don't produce any meaningful content. They don't criticize things in a reasonable fashion that you can understand them in. They just don't do anything productive.
Have you heard of Classroom Aquatic?
If that's the game for Oculus Rift where you're a dolphin in a classroom, then yeah, I've heard of it.
Didn't that just recently barely make its Kickstarter fund?
I don't know. I've heard about it. I've seen it.
I know, like it had like.
I don't own an Oculus Rift, so I therefore don't give any shits.
Did you hear that? Oh, that was the other piece of news that I forgot. I remember I had for the VR guy for Steam, the main head VR guy for Steam, quit and moved over to the Oculus Rift.
Oh.
So he is now working for the Oculus Rift team. It was a very mutual leaving, too. Gabe was like, yeah, I understand it. They're way farther ahead of us, and you want to go work for the better team, so see ya. And Gabe was like, I'll probably just end up buying Oculus Rift in like a fucking couple of years anyway, so it's fine. I'm pretty sure that's the plan, though. I think
Valve seems to have like a lot
going on.
Valve's been working with Oculus on like a lot of support stuff anyways, and so it doesn't seem unreasonable.
Yeah.
That's all stuff that I can't really comment on because I wasn't there and no one ever says anything about that stuff because it's all NDA'd, so.
Yeah.
Let's start wrapping this up.
Yeah. Give out those Twitters and those Facebooks and those iTunes.
Yeah. If you like this podcast, you should follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. We're at Dapper Gaming on Twitter. We are /Dapper Gaming on Facebook. Tell all your friends. What are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at the fucking Twitter and the Facebook and the YouTube.
Oh, there's no Facebook. There's just Twitter. Our personal Twitters and channels for YouTube are on the side. Yeah.
Right there. Anyone watching the voice podcast can't see that.
Audio. Watching the audio podcast? I don't know how you watch an audio file, but fucking...
Well, they downloaded it and then they watched the waveform.
It's like real far in the future. It's like the year 3000.
You just have to watch the waveform. They put it in their Audacity and they watch the waveform.
Fair enough.
Bam.
If you have any questions for next week's podcast, email them to ryan@dappergaming.com. That's ryan@dappergaming.com. And if you listen to this on Podomatic or on iTunes, you should leave us a review, because it means a lot. Does a lot for the visibility. Makes us popular.
Hey, if you do it, I'll love you forever.
Yeah, Joe will love you. I won't. I'm heartless.
I'm heartful. Full of hearts.
You're full of hearts?
Kingdom of hearts.
I've got empty space all over for hearts. I could have a heart here in this area. Could use a few down here. There's probably some room in my legs.
I think we'll just end that there.
Yeah. We don't need to carry that on.
Yeah, I can just end right there.
So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the 52nd episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast from March 16th. I've been your host, Ryan. And with me, as always,
it's been Joe. Hi. Bye. I love you.
And we'll see you guys next week.